Hello, good morning, cuties. So, I am here with the Indian Express newspaper. Okay, and this is the e-PDF of this Indian Express. So, let's begin today's session. So, today's date is 11th March 2026. Okay, so let's begin about the world. And we all know in the world page, the main thing is about the wars that is between Iran, Israel, and US. Okay, so about the Trump administrations, about the Netherlands, WHO, okay, and Iran. All three nations are fighting with each other. Okay, and the headline of this news is heaviest day of strikes on a defiant Iran. Okay, moving to at United Nations, India slams Pakistan's strike on Afghanistan during Ramadan. Trump dials Putin, discusses conflict in Iran, urges him to end Ukraine war. Okay. So this all newspaper is mainly about the war section. Okay. So moving from this page to the front page. Okay. These pages are in haphazard way. The slides are okay. So please cooperate with me and let's begin on. So this is the front page. Government take urgent measure amid crisis in West Asia. LNG imports hit essential commodities. Act invoked gas allocation prioritized. Okay. So we all know through this news that there is shortage of LPG due to this gas, due to the wars between US, Israel, and Iran. Okay, so in latest, the External Affairs Minister who said in detailed conversation with Iran's Agarshi, another point where US and Israel found Iran most intense airstrike of the war. 7 lakh displaced, 84 children killed in Lebanon, UN agency said. Okay, so these are the reports which is on page number 8 and 16. Okay, so go and read from there. Okay, when we are scrolling down the pages, and there we will get these newses. Okay, so hmm, there is shortage of these LNGs, LPG gases. Okay, and because all the energy and LNGs who are supplied and shipment through Strait of Hormuz, we all know as a aspirant. Okay, as a current affairs. If we read current affairs, we know about the Strait of Hormuz. So from this is the main way where the shipments are heading, and US also tried some support, like in recent days in newspaper there is a line by US president that $20 billion is provided to the ships who are shipping or who are moving from Strait of Hormuz and get any type of conflict and get any type of destruction. Okay, if they face any type of hurdles while passing through that route, because that is the only route, and there is a lot of hurdles by Iran, Israel, and any other countries. So US is going to give compensation of $20 billion. Okay, so this was the news. So, amid conflict in West Asia, the government has invoked the Essential Commodities Act to divert natural gas to priority sectors that are dependent on the fuel. So, according to order issued by Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, MO, MOPNG segment, which directly impact the millions of common consumers who are using the LPG, LNG gases in their vehicles, in home, in cooking foods. Okay, so they in other natural gases they are in consumer sector. So a lot of precedents and a lot of hurdles. Okay, they are facing by them due to that war, and everything in detail in page number 2. So if you want, then go to page number 2. Okay. Ripple effect. What is it? What is it? So ripple effects across sectors from textile to mining and steel making. So are impacting three areas: supply of raw material, fuel and feedstock market. Okay. Hmm. Mainly the wars are mainly affected all the three markets of raw material, textile, mining, steel making, all these sectors. Either it's a manufacturing or industry sector, every sector is affected from this war. Okay. Shipment routes are blocked and a lot of disruptions faced by them. And we already know about the Strait of Hormuz, the shipment route of West Asia. Okay, and this week, over 60% of Hormuz disruption, chalked by Napatha feedback, flows that Asian steamed cracker depend on for 60 to 80% of their supply. Okay, war very complete may end soon. Trump, we will decide, says Iran. Top court on Bengal, self-intensive revision. Form tribunals to hear appeal over exclusion of names. 3 months after fight disruption, Indigo CEO resigned. 1937, where Shariat Act provisions, UCC effective answer will leave it to wisdom of the legislature, says Supreme Court. So this one the first news, first page news. Okay, moving from this, it's about the city section. Okay, so in the city section, whatever news which is important, I'm going to read, and otherwise I'm going to skip it because if I thought that news is not relevant for any government exams or in terms of current affairs or economy section, then I will going to skip that one. Okay. So about the politics section, what's inside it? There is nothing important. That's why I'm skipping it. Okay. Parliament session. What's the topic inside it? What's the main topic that is inside it, which is revolving there? So government is responsible for weakening the institutions of a speaker, says opposition. Okay. Resolution of bid to create anarchy. A spectacle without substance, NDA. Uproar in RS over Bengal's SIR. As opposition walkout, Nada says they don't believe in democratic norms. Bullet train. Project to start. Ops with Bharat made. Train is set. House panel report. About the politics section, not important. About the nation. Like a second COVID-19 lockdown for us. How LPG shortage is hurting businesses. Main thing is that all the businesses in India is running through LPG gases. Okay, because it's natural gas and it does not emit carbon and it's good for the environment. It doesn't rise globe means it help in glow that it stop air pollution and help in a lot way. Okay, global level, what's the layer? Ozone layer. Okay, so it helped that the not in depletion of ozone layer. Okay, so a lot of benefits of using LPGs. Okay, so due to shortage of LPGs, a lot of businesses are getting hurt from it after the COVID-19 lockdown. Okay, look at the line where it is written. This is important. That is 80% of India's LPG, which is imported and passed through the Iran's and Oman, the Gulf of Nation, the Persian Gulf, and Gulf of Oman, Arabian Sea. These all are the places where the LPGs are imported and passes. Okay, so mainly it's through the Strait of Hormuz. Hormuz. Okay, so due to the war, the places are means these places are locked. No ships are going to pass from there due to a lot of war and destructions and a lot of fear arising in the in the shipments. Okay, Trump is an extravagant person. His tariff war is like gonna stop in American movies. Okay. Gujarat rises as India's semiconductor powerhouse. Tell me four places. Not four, only three places where these semiconductor hubs are set up. Houses and industries are set up in Gujarat. Okay, tell me the name of these places. If I saw the name of these places here, I will mark it because I know no one is going to write down in comment section. Wait a sec. So no names are mentioned. Okay, so you have to write down. These are the companies who are going to invest, like in Kenny's. Okay, Canis Technology, CG Power Industry Solution, and these are the budgets they are going to invest. If you show any place's name, then please write down because I don't have time to read all these things. Okay. The main theme is that India's gateway to silicon, the conference brought together and global semiconductor leaders, policymakers, and industry experts to discuss strategy and mainly strengthen the global semiconductor value chain in Gujarat. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Till end of the session, I will going to give you the names. Okay. So just move from it. So it's the editorial section. We are not going to read it. First, we are going to read the explanation section, and after that, the economy section. And the last page I'm going to read is that editorial section. Okay. So, about the nation, frame relief policy for adverse event after COVID shock, Supreme Court to government. Tension in Meghalaya, violence during Garo Hills Council polls to killed curfew imposed. About the nation, Lieutenant General Ghai, most of China's Xiaogang villages along lack in contested areas. Soon after Rahman became PM, Bangladesh spy chief met top Indian intel officials. From murder conviction to fight raiding, a 31-year-old find a way forward in chess. Look at your brain. Sorry, I'm just joking. So, what's inside it? In the explanation section, war in West Asia, religious idol will live on in Iran, not Islamism. About the polity section, legal across BJP ruled state anti-conversion law mirror each other. Jhumka, Ralph Lauren, and the dangling question of patenting heritage craft. Economy section, glass industry in a spot as government prioritizes natural gas allocation. ATF price, Air India to impose fuel surcharge on domestic flights. ATF price rise. What's ATF? Aviation turbine fuel price. Tata Group Airlines, Air India, Air Indian Express have decided to levy on fuel surcharges on domestic flights and flights to neighbor countries and West Asia. And the rise in the flight due to the rise in the price of the flights due to these fights between the nations and war between them, because they are not getting the proper supply of oil, okay, crude oil. And how these, because without crude oil, no flights are going to take off, okay. So this is the main problem, and due to that, they have to raise the charges. So airlines will domestic flights and flights from SARC countries, an airline will charge 399 per ticket as fuel surcharge for booking meet after 11 March. Okay, so the fuel charges will be $10 means $1 100, $10 means 1,000 rupees. Okay, so from for Air India flight to South Asia, Africa, existing surcharge will go 50% each to $60 to $90 respectively. On the second page, from the second phase from March 18, the places where the flight surcharges is rising 25% to $125. Flight to Europe because of these wars, I think. So these are the place in phase 3. These are the countries where the charges are getting high and rising, okay, and the percentage is written there. So this is the main news inside it. If anyone is going any places other than India, means in foreign areas, then they have to pay surcharges, okay, the surplus charge of flight and fuels. Financial Minister, a ministry seeks parliamentary not to spend rupees 2.81 lakh CR more in fiscal year 26. Okay. IDFC First Bank received claim for another rupees 55 CR, total fraud now 645 CR. AMFI equity fund surges again, gold ETF flows deep. Amrit Bharat station scheme, Pearl panel to railway assesses passenger satisfaction. China pins hope on society-wide AI push to create new jobs. So these are the pages. Okay, moving to the editorial section because I didn't read anything. Even even I didn't read the topic. I skipped the topic also. I think here are the pages. Hmm. So this is the editorial page. I'm not going to read it in detail. Okay, but if I saw anything important, I will read it. So what's inside it, worldly wise? Oil is as necessary as blood in the battle of tomorrow. Hmm. Oil is too necessary, like crude oil or cooking oil, any oil, because everything is dependent on oil. If some country is getting import, export, everything, either through air, either through rail, any places, either any vehicles, everything is run through the oil. Okay, and if a person is getting proper food, proper nutrition, and everything, that's just because of oil. Okay, because of vehicles, the products are gone one place to another place, and when they are reached, they are automatically consumed by the consumers. Okay, so these transfer of goods from one place to one another place is just because of the oil which is presenting there. So it's by George Clemenceau taking sides in conflict. Delhi's past record tells a complicated story. For decades, India framed its Middle East policy around two broad contradictions. So the US versus the region and the Israel versus the Arabs. But Indian debate paid far less attention to the reasons, internal rivalries. Okay. Raja Mandala, see Raja Mohan. One of the most surpassing elements of the unfolding Indian debate on the war in the Middle East is the concern, if not anguish, that the India has tilted to one side in the current Gulf War. For a section of the commentary, the essence of Indian foreign policy is and out to be refusal to take side as conflict between other states. Okay, so it's about the Gulf of War and Gulf of Nations War of India. Sorry, US, Iran, and Israel. Okay, so author is trying to give the idea of what type of traditional notion of neutrality. Tell me the meaning of notions of neutrality. So, in the early decade after independence, however, Delhi was at the pain to argue that his doctrine of non-alignment was not neutrally, and it did not avoid taking position in clam. So, it claimed the right form to merit of each issues based on independent judgment rather than block loyalty. Okay, so according to the topic, it's mainly about the complicated story of Delhi and what's inside it. So, in practice, India record tell more complicated story about the Delhi and just taken it often taken sides vehemently, बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ा चढ़ा के that sometimes defensively, sometimes only implicitly. There have also been moments when India simply flip-flop as government changed. So US, it has been relatively easy for India's political and intellectual establishment to adopt strong moral position when the offender was the US of waste. This habit was part of what Shashi Tharoor once described as Indian tradition of offering or running moral commentary on world affairs. Okay, so the anti-Western reflects deeper and the root where Indian mainly about the Delhi's genuine Cold War with Washington over Pakistan, Kashmir, and nuclear non-proliferation. So the ambivalence was visible and Delhi muted responsible of Soviet invasion of Hungary as well as Russia annexation Ukraine. Many would call the hypocrisy and double standard a universal feature of international life. India is reluctant to criticize. Moscow was rooted in the strategic values. Delhi attached to Russian connection in managing the security challenges. Okay. So this is nothing. This article is nothing. Mainly not that is that important, but every day you have to read a single article. Okay. So this is the first. That's why I'm going to read it. But if you don't want to read it, so skip it and read the another one. But read a single article. So this article mainly explains about the Indian diplomacy of Delhi and what are the Russian invasion, Ukraine, and what are the consequences of the war between them in Delhi and other places. Okay, so this is the thing inside it. So that's all for today, and I am going to upload this PDF in the section, okay, description section. Go and download from there. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.